Hi everyone, Flaming Footy here and welcome back to a new video on the channel. And today guys, here we are back on Tier Maker again, and in this video I'm going to be ranking every AFL 2022 trade. But before I do, I have something to say really quick. The channel is getting oh so close to 500 subscribers. At the time I'm recording this, we are just 10 away at 490. I'd really appreciate it if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, as we're getting very close to 500 subscribers, and I'd really enjoy getting to 500 subscribers and appreciate that a lot. Alright, here we go. Blake Acres, I reckon he will probably be between an immediate impact or definitely best 22. I reckon he can make an immediate impact for Carlton though. I reckon some of the highlights that he's been able to produce on the wing, I reckon, yep, straight away he'll be able to make an immediate impact in that Carlton side for sure. Carl Amon, I reckon he is also another player for Hawthorn that could make an immediate impact. So here we go. First two players are starting off with immediate impact. I reckon, yep, he can definitely make an immediate impact as well for Hawthorn. And a very handy pickup was Carl Amon. Toby Bedford, I reckon he'll make the best 22 just because Bobby Hill found himself leaving to go to Collingwood. So that's why I feel like Toby Bedford will pretty much just take his place in the team, really. That's how I believe and see that one going. Jack Bowes, I reckon maybe he could take Joel Selwood's place perhaps in the midfield, because, or maybe like, yeah, they did have a couple of retiring players, did Geelong, and I reckon, yeah, he could go into that midfield and take Joel Selwood's spot perhaps. He will be a developing player, and he hasn't really played a lot of senior AFL footy over the last year, but again, I still do feel like he can just slot straight into that best 22 if he has a really strong preseason. So now Tanner Bruin, which I reckon, again, he'll be best 22 for sure as well in Geelong. I mean, I would think he'd be best 22. Some of the skills that he has are really, really good, and he could play as that high half forward. He could even go into the midfield. I feel like the possibilities for Tanner Bruin are really good. Of course, first round draft pick, just like Jack Bowes, and I reckon there's plenty of chances for him. Now, Cooper Stevens, I still do feel like he'll find himself on the outer at Hawthorn. Now, his move didn't come as like a bombshell or, oh my goodness, we're excited to get Cooper Stevens from a Hawthorn. If you're a Hawthorn supporter, I don't really think you'd be saying that like he's the pickup of the trade period or anything like that. Because I just don't think he's going to make the AFL level. Even though Amira, Mitchell, Gunston left, I still don't feel like he'll get into Hawthorn. I don't know what will stop, but yeah, I doubt he'll get in the senior side. Josh Corbett, I reckon, is definitely a handy top-up player. He could go into the best 22, however, for the Dockers, as they do need forward line depth. And, of course, Rory Lobb goes out the door. He could be a handy top-up player or best 22, but I feel like just because of some of the other players of calibre that will be able to go in here, I feel like he'll stay as a handy top-up player with Josh Corbett. So now Zane Cordy, I reckon he could still find himself on the fringe or on the outer at St Kilda, perhaps. Free agent for the Saints, but whether he gets straight into the side or not is going to be another question, because they do have Wilkie, they've got Howard, they've got Sinclair if he plays the half-back. So they do have players that are in that back line. He might go into the best 22, but I'm not sure if I'll put him there for now. So Josh Dunkley, obviously, he's a brilliant player. He goes up the top. Of course, as soon as he was rumoured to go to the Lions, yeah, everything just everyone knew about it, and of course, he was one of the best players in the pool. Billy Frampton, another handy top-up player. Of course, this year, the trend tends to be the ruck merry-go-round. This year, I kind of thought it was the more of the tall merry-go-rounds, where it was like a lot of tall players finding exchanges to other clubs. And again, Aaron France, I think he will be best 22 for Sydney, but another part of that tall merry-go-round, you could say. A lot of tall players moved, but yeah, I reckon he'll slot straight into somewhere in Sydney, whether it be forward, back, not quite entirely sure yet. Brodie Grundy, I reckon he does have the capability of being a brilliant player at the Demons, but I'm just going to put him into immediate impact for now. I think, yes, at the Demons, he'll make an immediate impact, form a brilliant partnership with Max Gawn in the ruck. That's going to be a very scary ruck duo next year. Jack Gunston, I reckon he'll be best 22 as well. I'm not sure if he'll make an immediate impact at the Lions, but he'll definitely be best 20. Oh, nah, you know what? I'm chucking him in immediate impact. Jack Gunston can do some incredible things, so I'm just going to chuck him in there. He'll make an immediate impact for sure as well. At the lines, Bobby Hill, I'm going to put him in best 22. He will make the best 22 at Collingwood, I would think. With their, I don't know whether it's a lack of small forwards, but I still do feel pretty confident that he can make that that best 22 at Collingwood for sure for Bobby Hill. Nice pressure forward, and he should slot straight into the best 22. Jacob Hopper, he's coming into his prime, so I think he's primed to make an immediate impact at Richmond, and I reckon he will. Yeah, I don't think it's too hard to explain. He will make an immediate impact at Richmond, one of the bigger deals done throughout the trade period, and yep, he'll definitely be making an immediate impact at Richmond for sure. Jason Horne-Francis, I'm going to chuck him at the end of immediate impact. I reckon, again, he's a big, bulky midfielder. I reckon he will slot right into best 22 and, again, make an immediate impact as well. Especially being back in South Australia, closer to family. I think that'll help him increase his game and make sure that he makes an immediate impact at his new home, Port Adelaide. So now to Lockie Hunter, which I reckon he will make the best 22. I don't think he's going to be an outstanding player by any means for the Demons, but I do feel like he will make the best 22, whether that be half forward, in the midfield, half back on the wing. They're not quite sure whether they're going to play him just yet. I believe, but yeah, I reckon he'll slot back in. I reckon he'll slot into that best 22 for sure. Jaden Hunt. Now, just considering where West Coast are at, he will slot into the best 22 as well. Off the half-back line in the midfield, I reckon they could put him in the midfield or off the half-back line for sure, and yeah, he should be in the best 22. I mean, just considering where West Coast are at, he could even make an immediate impact as well for West Coast, but I am just putting him into the best 22 for now, because I do feel like he will definitely make the best 22 at West Coast. Luke Jackson, I'm going to put him in a brilliant player. Now, this one may be a little bit controversial, but I'm pretty comfortable to put him in brilliant player. Now, just some of the glimpses that we've seen from Jackson is really good, and I reckon the Dockers are going to form a brilliant partnership. Darcy, Jackson. I reckon the possibilities are endless for Luke Jackson. They could put him forward. They could kick goals. They want to play him as a hybrid midfielder. I feel like they can definitely get the most out of Luke Jackson. I think he's going to be a brilliant player in the future, so I am trusting my gut, and I'm putting him up there in brilliant player. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on that one in the comment section. Liam Jones, I reckon he'll be best 22 as well. The Dogs do need a bit of defensive depth. They've got Keith, but I don't really know if they have anyone else down there. They've got plenty of tools, but they're more for the forward line, so I reckon Jones does make a best 22 for sure. Willie Rioli, I don't see him making an immediate impact, but I do see him being a pretty good small forward that will definitely slot right into the Powers' best 22. He's got a few tricks up his sleeve, and I reckon he can put them on show. But yeah, best 22 for Willie Rioli. Rory Lobb, I reckon he's another one that definitely would slot into the best 22 as well. I do feel like he could make an immediate impact, but because of some of the calibre that I have up here in immediate impact, which is like Grundy, Hopper, Horne-Francis, I just feel like that he will just make the best 22. I reckon he'll kick plenty of goals there for the Western Bulldogs, but I'm just leaving him in best 22 for now. Griffin Logue, I reckon he will be another best 22 player in this list. They're getting pretty big now with the best 22 section, but I reckon he'll make the best 22 for North Melbourne for sure. He's a handy swingman. He could be played anyway. You could play him key forward, key back, midfielder, wing, half back, half forward, marking sort of play to kick goals or intercept defender. I reckon the chances again with Griffin Logue are endless, which will probably boost him up a couple of spots on this list. But again, I do feel like Griffin Logue, an ultimate swingman, you could really do anything with him. Ben Long, he makes the best 22 as well, for sure. The Suns, they need a half backman that's not going to get injured, and Ben Long could be that perfect man that will just slot right into that side to help out their half back line for sure. Dan McStay, another one in the best 22, I reckon, for Collingwood. I reckon, again, he can do some pretty good things at Collingwood, can Dan McStay. They do have plenty of tools down there, but yep, I reckon he can get into that best 22. Lloyd Meek, I'm not sure where he sits, whether he's a handy top-up player or a best 22. I'm going to leave him in handy top-up player for now, because I'm not quite sure how the rucking sort of scenario goes. I mean, he could be best 22, he could be handy top-up player. I guess I'll leave him in best 22 for now. Depends on how their rucks go, though, because their rucks have been injured a fair bit at Hawthorn. So, I don't know. It kind of depends on how they are tracking as to whether Lloyd Meek is the best 22 or not. Tom Mitchell, I reckon he could be an immediate impact player at Collingwood, but I am just going to play it safe, and I'm going to put him in best 22. Now, he will make their best 22 for sure. He's a Brownlow medalist winner. I'm pretty sure he would have won a best and fairest. So, again, Tom Mitchell should make their best 22 for sure. I'd be surprised if he was playing VFL footy for the Pies. Oliver Henry, I reckon surely he's got to go best 22. The skills there that he can have are really good. He's got some really good skills, does Oliver Henry, and surely he goes best 22. Now, look, the Cats forward line is a really good one, but I still feel like they can surely find a way for Oliver Henry to make the best 22, whether that be on the bench, whether that be midfield, whether that be inside midfield or wing, whether that be half forward, forward pocket, whatever they're going to play him. I reckon he's got to make his way into the best 22. Otherwise, the Cats would have thrown the kitchen sink at him for, well, I mean, they didn't in the end do a kitchen sink offer, but they worked really hard to get this deal done. And Colin would be annoyed if he wasn't to be in the best 22. He wants to play alongside his brother Jack, so you've got to make sure they're playing in the same team if you want to do that. So that's just my opinion on that one. He's got to make the best 22, I feel, for that pickup to be any sort of worth. Jaeger O'Meara, he will make the best 22 as well at Fremantle. Pretty confident on that one. He'll make the best 22. Look, David Mundy goes out. Jaeger O'Meara can just slot right into that spot that's left by David Mundy. I feel like this is a pretty straight swap right there. Isaac Rankin, I reckon he is, again, another top-class player. Now, yes, I do go for the Crows. This might be a bit of bias here, but I still do feel like he was one of the best players up for trade. And I reckon, yep, he's definitely top calibre, top class, brilliant player. And the Crows would be very excited to have him in their side. A really exciting small forward that could pair really well with Josh Rochelle. Got an up-and-coming forward line, Fogarty, Thilthorpe, Rochelle, and now adding this man to the mix, Isaac Rankin. I reckon this forward line could be one of the best in the next couple of years. Geelong still do have the best forward line, but in a few years, I reckon, watch out, this Adelaide forward line could be really good. So now Josh Schache, I reckon he's a handy top-up player. Some of the class there that the Demons have inside 50, they've got Ben Brown, they've got other players in there as well. I'm not sure if he's going to make an immediate impact or best 22 straight away. Will Setterfield, I feel like the Bombers are probably just going to stick with the midfield that they currently have. So again, I feel like he might just be put into a handy top-up player there. Will Setterfield. Be disappointing for him, but that might be the way it rolls. Tim Taranto, I'm going to put him up as well. I'm going to put him above Jacob Hopper, I reckon. Above Jacob Hopper in immediate impact. Just like Jacob Hopper, he will make an immediate impact at Richmond. Both of them were signed on lucrative 7-year deals to go to the Tigers from the Giants. They had to throw the kitchen sink at both of them, and they've got to make immediate impacts. And I'm pretty confident with the calibre that these two will bring to their side. They will. Darcy Tucker is another one. I reckon he should slot into the best 22. Again, I do feel like they could play him just about anywhere on the ground. Half back, half forward perhaps. Wing or midfield is probably his preference, though, as to where you'd play him. So I reckon wing or midfield is where he'll be played if he plays. Otherwise, he'll be stuck in the VFL. But I still feel like he can make the best 22. Sam Wiedemann at the Bombers, he will most certainly make the best 22 there. No doubt about that either. But yeah, that is my list. I'm pretty happy with this. I do feel like Brodie Grundy could be the chance of a brilliant player. I do feel like I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. I'm going to leave it as it is, I reckon. I like this list. I think this is a good one. And I reckon I might... Yeah, that's the list. That is the list that I have. So, brilliant player. Some of the best pickups for me, I reckon, are for sure Josh Dunkley, Luke Jackson, Isaac Rankin. And then I'm going to move... I'm leaving that as it is. In immediate impact, I've got Grundy, Taranto, Hopper, Amon, Akers, Gunston, Horn-Francis. In best 22, I've got Broome, Bose, Henry, Lobb, Mitchell, Hill, Hunt, Hunter, Bedford, Rioli, Logue, McStay, Long, O'Meara, Tucker, Jones, Francis, Meek, Wiedemann. In handy top-up play, got Setterfield, Corbett, Shacky, Frampton, and in fringe on the outs, Cordy and Stevens. Please make sure to subscribe as the channel is on the road to 500. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys never miss another video on the channel. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Bye everyone. Flaming Footy out.